Hey everyone, welcome to episode 82 of the Penciled In Podcast. Today is going to be a little bit more focused for Canadians. Do stick around if you are a US watcher though, because, well, it all applies. And Jenny is here with me today, and she's going to kind of help me balance the maple syrup with the American, whatever. So
We've got apple pie. That's what we'll do. We'll do maple syrup and apple pie.
I
like it.
all together. Great. So on the podcast today, we have Juhee from ChitChats. Now, ChitChats is, I'm going to be learning along with the rest of you, a Canadian-based shipping company. I believe you're a startup company, if I'm not mistaken.
Kind of. It started actually as a small family-run business back in '98. Officially we say we've been in business since 2001, but the story is quite great because it was Derek Nolan, our founder, who was kind of an entrepreneur himself. He, sold books on the side, and he just was just outraged by the cost of shipping. He was like, "Oh my goodness, it costs an arm and a leg. I can't make any money on, selling these books." And he was trying to figure out how to tackle this. And he realized if he could just take the books in his car and drive them across the border to USPS, the postage price was exorbitantly cheaper. He could actually make a profit and not lose it. And the shipping costs were so much less. So he started doing that for his own business. And then before you know it, his friend's like, "Hey, can you take mine?" And another guy's like, "What about mine?" And his green little station wagon was filled with packages. And he realized he was onto something. And so from there, that's kind of where ChitChats was birthed. And he, it was a family-run business. His daughter kind of helped and took over. Unfortunately, we lost him to cancer. So he kind of left the legacy to his daughter, Carly Wood. And then from there, we partnered with a technology company, Reinvent. And that's where we launched the platform, which you see today, and kind of made its way to where we are now. So that's kind of the background.
Yeah. So now, when did you officially go live? How long has ChitChats been active?
Yeah, so I would say 2001 is when we first opened our first physical location, because he was working out of his garage and he realized that there was no more space. So we opened our first branch in Markham, Ontario. And then from there, we now have over 70 plus locations across Canada.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and they were working off a very manual thing where there was no technology, and it was just like an Excel Google sheet type of thing where people would dump in their data. He would do some stuff, and it was very manual. And that's when we partnered with the technology of Reinvent and launched the platform, which allows users to easily log in, create postage, buy the labels, do their stuff they need to do, and then get their packages to ChitChat.
Oh, that's cool. So Juhee, what do you do? What do you do with the company? Are you like customer service or?
So I've actually worn a lot of hats, but my official role, I'm a communications manager. So I handle all internal, external communications, whether it's going to staff updates or to our clients on our blog or their monthly newsletters. So yeah, that's my role right now.
Oh, so you do have a newsletter. I'll actually sign up for that. Like I was telling you before, for any listeners who may be, or watchers who may be interested, I'm here, sell me your service, because I am, on behalf of other Canadians, looking for an affordable way to ship. It is crazy. And I just got through a shipping hassle this morning. I want to know all about it. So the one difference with this is that, for instance, for us in Canada, well, I guess anywhere, wherever you live, you have to bring your stuff to the post office, or you can get, I think sometimes someone will come and pick up your package and things like that. But for Canada Post, well, nearly everybody has an outlet in their town, city, village, what have you. However, for ChitChat, so far, you have a few locations, so we need to bring all our things to you. I'm fortunate. It's a little less than an hour, I think, to the closest one, seeing as I'm near Montreal. So I'll definitely give you a try for that. Are you looking to expand? Are you looking into different ways of offering services?
Mhm. We know that accessibility is huge for our clients, because if you can't, like you said, if you're in an area that's remote, or, Canada Post is probably your best option, because they're a crown corporation. They do have to deliver to every Canadian address, and there's so many of them, right? So ChitChats, we realize, so it's difficult for some people who aren't close to a ChitChat. So there are a couple alternatives that we do offer, and it actually can save you money, surprisingly. So we've had some clients where they're not close to a ChitChat location, and we offer a couple things. You can mail in your packages. So you buy and print your postage through the ChitChat platform, where you get access to the discounted rates. And then you put all your packages together into like a bigger box. You might have little shipments or whatever. And then you mail that to the closest branch that's located to you. And once we receive it, we'll process them and then get them into the mail stream. And typically, this can save you money. People are shocked and they're like, well, how does that make sense? It's because the postage costs are so much more cheaper with ChitChats, that even though that additional cost of mailing in the consolidated package, it still balances out in the end. And people are shocked. It is an extra step, but to get that discount and to get that rate, it can be lucrative for some clients, and they do that. So either you can use like your own choice of, like, if you want to put them all in and ship it to FedEx, or we do also offer a third-party pickup service right through the platform, where you get access to discounted rates with CanPar. So we have like a couple options that can be feasible for many clients who do use that. So
Okay, interesting. Please go ahead, Jenny.
No, I was just going to say, I deal a lot with shipping. Well, I do two different things. I do the art stuff, and then our printing company does so much shipping. We ship worldwide, but we never know what, shipping is like for, your foreign countries. So you don't understand, everything that's involved. So we appreciate you taking the time to, to let us know. And certainly the bulk option of shipping it to you, that's a really convenient, nice option that you've got there.
That actually is a
yeah.
good idea. That's, if you're like really stuck for time and you don't have time to take 2-3 hours a day to actually go and drop them off to you, so you don't ship only within Canada, you do ship internationally. So for us Canadians, can you give us an example of, if I may ask, prices, for instance? Like, I've got some of the prices already in my head with Canada Post, so I kind of will know, what I gotta pay. For instance, if I want to ship something to Texas, or if I want to ship something to the Great Britain, for instance, which is super expensive, and Italy, and for instance, Australia, which is like unbelievably costly from Canada. Can you give some examples?
Sure. Like, I don't know the prices off the top of my head, but to give you guys an idea, so we do ship within Canada to the US and worldwide, and we do partner with different partner carriers to facilitate that postage. So within Canada, we do use Canada Post for some options, but we do have discounted rates. So depending where you're shipping to, it can be cheaper than if you went directly with Canada Post. We do also offer 2 ChitChat branded services, which are ChitChat Select and ChitChat Slim. So with ChitChat Select, it uses a courier to handle the final mile delivery within Canada, but the cost savings are huge. So this can help save, on average, 50% or more compared to national carriers within Canada. And the delivery time is really within the 2 to 8 business days, depending where it's going across Canada. So to the US, we offer a variety of services. We mainly use USPS as a partner carrier. So that's why we're able to get such discounted rates. And they're very competitive compared to Canada Post, because as you know, Canada Post to the US tracked, it can be very expensive depending on the size of the package and where it's going. I know a client was shipping from Ontario to Texas, and I think he paid about like $6 or $7 in postage. So it's significantly cheaper than what you would see with, some of the other carriers out there. And the timeframes to get it there could be really very quick. So depending what services you use, on average, it could be 2 to 6 business days that it could arrive to the US customer.
I was going to ask you about that since you use USPS. Now we over here, we have like the flat rate envelopes, flat rate boxes. Can people in Canada get those on that end and then give them to you and you bring them over?
Yeah, so right now we don't offer any of the priority mail flat rate options. That was a legacy service that we had years ago. We've kind of simplified some of our US options. So we have like, the most economical service, which is our US economy. And that is US track. So that's, the cheapest, a little bit slower. Then we have our US Edge, which is kind of like the new USPS Ground Advantage service, which is the mixture of the first class and parcel select. So that one's probably like the mid-tier, still competitive, faster transit times. And then we offer USPS Priority Mail. So that's a little bit more expensive, but it is faster. But we don't give any of the flat rate box options for that one.
Okay. For instance, a lot of us use Kickstarter to fund our projects and all the things that we end up needing to ship, and it often end up to a lot of things to ship. Do you have any plans on incorporating ChitChats into platforms such as Kickstarter or different ones?
We've reached out to Kickstarter, but I know sometimes the challenge there is because it's like you don't sell the items right away, right? They're kind of like you kind of hold them, and then once you have that funding and then whatever, you kick it off. And we've had clients who have used us that were using Kickstarter. So it's totally possible because you can, once you have your free account, you can kind of play around with the weight and dimensions to see what is that shipping cost that you want to charge your customers, and then you can kind of base it on there. Because our rates, they do, obviously rates are always subject to change with anything, but for the most part, they're pretty standard. You can kind of figure out, okay, it's going to cost me like $5, depending how much you want to mark up shipping or give free shipping or whatever, or however you guys incorporate that into your selling costs or whatever you guys do. I know we've had multiple clients who have sold items through Kickstarter or other platforms like that do use us. The great thing with ChitChats that I do want to mention is, when you cross borders, that's where things get tricky, So the funny thing is, going from Canada to the US, the de minimis, which is the amount that you're allowed to ship before being charged any taxes, customs, or duties, is $800 USD. The funny thing is, going from US to Canada, that de minimis, I think, is like $20 or $25.
Yeah.
So that's why you're dealing with that issue there, Ingrid, of like, show me the proof. You might have to pay duties. It's a whole mess.
They
so that's why
hijack your package and won't let you have it.
Yeah.
Show the proof of whatever it was you. I mean,
that's crazy to me that they do that.
Yeah. So that's why Canadians, we tap into the US market a lot, because we have that limit that allows us to then sell items and expand our marketplace and grow your business to US customers, especially, there's so much, the population is so much more, and the shipping costs are so significantly less with ChitChat. That's how so many of our clients have gone from businesses of a one-person business to now flourishing. They've grown their US market. They have like a 5-person, 10-person team, and it's really exciting to see these stories.
You're making me so excited.
Let's go slip something. So now, do you have maximums like what Ingrid was saying? A lot of the people for Penciled In Podcast are creators that do the crowdfunding things. So like for one day, can you ship like 200 items, or do you have limits on how many packages on a daily can go out?
I mean, there's no limit to the number of packages. We welcome the more, the better. The only limitation is the de minimis. So we can only accept, if you're shipping to Ingrid 5 packages and the total value is more than $800 USD, we wouldn't be able to accommodate that. So that limit of $800 USD to one person a day to the same address, that's your limitation.
Okay, that's good to know, actually. I was not aware of any of that.
Yeah.
Not that it's, for me personally, it's not really a problem because my things are super like small and all. Speaking of which, may I ask about packaging?
Mm.
Like Jenny was mentioning a little bit about, the boxes and stuff like that. Are there any particular do you offer boxes? Do you offer shipping containers and things like that? A lot of what the people who watch Pencil and Podcast, it's mostly art and created things like that, either books or trading cards, art, original, printed, all that stuff. Are Do our packages get thrown across the room willy-nilly? Like,
My goodness, I hope not. No,
because I can tell you that UPS I have seen
Yeah.
deliver. It's not
I
always
know. I've seen delivery people, and sometimes they're a bit rough. But we pride ourselves, our core values are care, curiosity, and cheer. And we pride
Oh,
ourselves on handling everything with so much care because we really do care. We care a lot about ourselves, our team, and our clients because without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. Seeing their success stories, that's what kind of fuels us. Like we love hearing the client success stories because, like I said, we've seen people who started as a one-person business, it was a side job, and now it's their full-time job, and they have like 10 employees or something like that, So it's really seeing that kind of success that makes us really proud of what we do. We do offer shipping supplies. We actually have a whole store where you can buy shipping supplies. They're quite discounted. I know with shipping, the smaller and tighter you make it, that's where you're going to save because we've seen people ship a t-shirt in a big box and
yeah.
people don't realize you're paying
yeah.
for all that air in that box as well, right? A postage is determined by the length, width, and height and the weight. And the funny thing with carriers is not only does it matter the actual weight, if the size of the box exceeds a certain amount, it's called like dimensional weight. And if that is greater than the actual weight, you'll be charged that dimensional weight. So there's little things like that that some people aren't aware of. They're like, oh, I'm going to put it in this beautiful box and it's this tiny little t-shirt. And they don't realize, well, why is my shipping so expensive? They could have packed it in a really tight poly mailer, with no air, like really thin and tight. And they probably could have saved, a lot by doing that. So packaging is super important for sure.
The example you give is something that and I'm sure you've had that happen to you as well, Jenny. When you buy from Amazon, you'll often get a little thing in a huge box. I don't
so much waste.
Yeah, I know. That's always weird to me. Yeah, well, I'll order like little things, and it's in these big, huge boxes. And you're like, what were you thinking? But yeah,
who's
that's good
for all that? So I to kind of bring it all down to something simple for us Canadians, may I ask how you managed to bring the cost down so low, or is that something on ne demande pas?
Well, the great thing with ChitChats is because we have these partnerships with our different carriers, we're able to get a discounted rate and we pass that on directly to our clients. So we don't, we want for our clients to succeed. We know that shipping is expensive. So that's why we came to be. So we want to offer you an affordable, fast tracking, full tracking, because we know customers want to know where their package is and get their shipments quickly. We do offer some services, like our Slim service is really great in Canada for those that don't really need tracking, because some people don't, they're okay not having like a full track service. It's just partially tracked, but the price is quite competitive and low for these types of shipments if they meet a certain criteria. So people who sell like trading cards or like little small jewelries that are like flat and slim, this is a really great service option because it's very competitive. But it doesn't offer full tracking, but for some people it works perfect for them. So
yeah, I liked your webpage. I had gone there and it was free to join. So that's really nice. I know a lot of places like, for shipping, you have to create an account and all this is involved and payment, but that's really great for, your small people. So
For
yeah,
for your so like for instance, and believe me, I'm going to try you. I'm going to give feedback on all this.
I would love it.
If I wanted to try Chit Chats, I can join for free and I get all the benefits, or is there a limited amount of benefits for free accounts? Do I need to pay for full service or?
No. So you just sign up on the website for a free account. And once you're logged, we do ask for some information because it is a shipping thing. We do need like a business address if you are a business. If not, we do have a personal service that you can use for people who are just like personal shippers versus business. But most of our clients are entrepreneurs or business. Once you sign up for your free account, you get access to the dashboard, which gives you kind of an outline of like what to do next. Because sometimes people are like, what do I do? So we kind of have there like, here, this is what you got to do first to create your first shipment. You can see, plug in, play, different dimensions, weight, addresses to kind of see the postage cost. Once you see something that you like, you created your postage, you just add credits to your account, and that's how you buy the postage. So you buy $100 credit, and then you can just buy the postage from your credit. And then from there, you print your postage. We can print out on like a regular printer paper. Like if you don't have a printer label, some people don't, and they're just starting off.
I don't have a label. I just use paper and trim it.
Exactly. So you just print out your postage on regular paper, and then put it onto your package, and then you bring those to us, and off we go.
Where you are talking to us from British Columbia, I believe, right?
Yes.
I am in Quebec in the province of Quebec at the moment. May I ask where if you have them off the top of your head, the locations where you are? Like I said, I'm fortunate because there are several in Montreal. So when I have enough, well, I can just put it all in the car and go get a Starbucks along the way, and happy times all around. So where are you located all across Canada?
So we're in BC, Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, and then in the Atlantic Canada region, it works a little bit differently. We don't have any physical branches there. We've partnered with Maritime Bus. So how that works is for people who are in that area, they can go to a Maritime Bus location. They do have to pay that additional the cost to get it from Maritime Bus to the ChitChat hub. But it does help to like facilitate people who do want to access it. And there's about 30 Maritime Bus locations across the Atlantic region that they can tap into. In Quebec, we have 7 actual physical branches. So there's like Brossard, Laval, in the Plateau, downtown, Saint Laurent, Saint Leonard, Saint Foy, and Ile-Perrot. My accent is not the best. And then we have 4 drop spots as well. So there's Below, Drummondville, Joliette, and we have a store in Montreal that you can access to. So basically the way the locations work is we have our branches, which are owned and operated by ChitChats. There's friendly staff there. You can ask questions or whatnot. And then we have our drop spots. And these are partners that we've partnered with. They're not owned and operated by ChitChats, but you can bring your packages there and they will bring them to us. So
do you have any plans to expand to the Maritimes or to the other provinces?
We definitely are looking, we get requests daily about come to Winnipeg, come to blah, blah, blah. We see it all the time, and we definitely keep track of that. And we do want to expand. At this time, we don't have anything on like the dashboard of like coming up soon. But our blog will always have the latest news on the next location or the areas that we will be opening in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it sure is awesome. Do you have any advice for people who are like small businesses, like all of us pretty much who are watching this? Do you have any advice for us when we want to ship, have our things delivered, and shocking, some people don't know how to address an envelope anymore. Like my daughter, can you believe it? The number of times I've told her, I mean, really, it's crazy with this digital age.
I know. I think one of the biggest pain points we've learned and seen over the years is that as a business, if you're a small entrepreneur or you're just starting off, there's so many things to like think about, like, you know, like marketing, okay, my products, where am I going to sell, like all the business things. And then you come to the shipping and you're like, oh my goodness, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's painful, it's complicated, there's so many things involved. So ChitChat tries to help minimize that for you and make it easy, because we understand it's complicated, it's painful. You know, we want to take that out for you and try to make it as easy as possible. And that's why we built this platform, to kind of take all that, you know, craziness out, so that all you do is you focus on your business, you get access to low postage rates, you print and buy with us, and, you know, we take care of the rest to get your shipments to your customers. I think the biggest thing is really knowing your product, where you're selling to. There's a lot of rules with shipping when it comes to international, particularly. Like you said, address formatting, you know, there's prohibited, restricted items, there's a lot. So it's really important, you know, as a business, to do your research, right? You do need to do some due diligence to find out, okay, if I'm going to start shipping to the UK, is my product okay? You know, like, is it a restricted item? You know, some people don't realize that. We do have some restrictions of what we can and cannot ship, because we do cross the US border. Due to US FDA regulations, we cannot take some things like food, you know, any drugs, guns, firearms. We have a whole list of things that unfortunately we cannot ship. So it's important to also know and check that out, because some people just sign up and don't realize, oh, my product, they can't take it, you know? So we have like a help widget on our website where you can ask questions, or a really big library of resources where you can search for like certain things. So definitely reach out to us. We'd be happy to let you know if your item is eligible or not. You know, a lot of the support there, we know, because we come across this stuff every day. So if you're unsure, ask. I think that's the most important thing, rather than just assuming something, just to make sure, especially if it's your business or you're an entrepreneur starting out, you really want to know everything before you go full in. So yeah, that would be my advice.
Good one.
When you use your platform, for instance, with Canada Post, because I have an account there, it saves addresses that I ship to often or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work on yours as well?
We basically, it does remember, like through my computer, when I go into my account, there's certain addresses I type in and it will remember it. I think it's more through your settings. But it does remember some, like we do have some presets, I would say, on the shipping side, where if you have certain weight or dimensions or the description of the item, that it can save into your account. So then you can just apply them rather than having to type them in every time.
I ask because in some countries, the addresses are different from here. So you don't know whether you put this name here or there or underneath, or does it all go?
Yeah.
Just
The zip code and the postal code stuff looks so different, because some have letters, some are, you know, 9 digits long, some are 7 digits long. And yeah, so it's nice when it stores it like that.
then when it stores it, or when it automatically fills, like sometimes you have an address search box or something that automatically fills it the way it should be written. Because unfortunately, some people will kind of send you their address just all in one line or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not their fault or anything. It's just, I don't know how it's supposed to be written. So I kind of
Formatted. We've had to clarify a couple times. I know, like, especially like when we ship to, like, say, Hong Kong or China, it's almost backwards. It's like the names are at the bottom in the city, in the provenance. We've had to message people a number of times, because you're like, how do we format it? You know, this is what we do. How do I do it so that fits in? But
characters, you don't know what letter it is, because it's a different language, you know, so that can be a challenge.
So on our platform, it will say like name, address, line 1, line 2, postal code, country, and you can drop down and select. And I know Canada Post and both USPS have very good resources on formatting of addresses. So we do have those resources. That is great for people to check, because they're the postal authorities to some degree. So they do have, you know, if it's going here, format it like this, because international ones are very tricky sometimes.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
May I ask, well, kind of getting to the end of this, I have a medical thing I have to take care of. You you're basically a small company yourself, comparatively speaking, are you not? Is that correct?
Yeah,
I
we're
happened to
definitely.
come across ChitChat completely by accident. I didn't see you anywhere, and yet I search for shipping options a lot. Do
Yeah.
you have plans to take over the world and expand, become known by everyone and things like that?
Yes, I mean, of course, not take over the world, but our mission, the reason why we do what we do is to help entrepreneurs live their dreams. Like I said, their success and doing what they do is what fuels us. And we totally see the pain with shipping. And, we love to constantly improve. We take feedback seriously. A lot of our clients, we see the problems that they have, and we're like, how can we use technology, innovation, and knowing what we know in the shipping industry with getting great affordable rates. How do we get this and translate it to help entrepreneurs? So that's our mission. That's our goal. That's why we're here. We want to help facilitate that because we understand that it is a problem for a lot of people who don't understand, or the costs are so high that they can't even succeed, right? So that's kind of our main goal.
I had to stop selling my books because I simply couldn't afford to ship them. They were it was a 3 Kickstarter project, and
Yeah.
perhaps, I'm going to try ChitChats. Honest to God, bottom of my heart, I'm going to try them. And then if it works, I'll actually try selling some of the leftover books that I have to see if that works at a more affordable cost, because I just couldn't afford to ship.
Yeah.
So where would you like people to go to find out more about you?
Yeah, chitchats.com. That's our website. There's multiple different pages there that you can see the pricing, our different services. You can even contact us at support@chitchats.com. One of our agents would be happy to answer any questions. Yeah, that would be the best place. Our blog has a lot of information. We try to keep up with a lot of the shipping industry. It's been changing a lot. There's a lot of things going on, right, Jenny? Even from the US
USPS,
side.
yeah, USPS just really screwed things up the other day. Now you have like USPS ground, and yeah, it's a mess sometimes.
So it has changed a lot for you too, Jenny?
Do what? Sorry?
It has changed a lot for you too down there?
Oh, yeah. Just in the last couple of weeks, they started offering a new service called USPS Ground. It's cheaper, but I think all of our services, even up to priority, has really slowed down the transit time. And the USPS Ground is even more so. Whereas like a first rate or first class, something, going across country would maybe take 3 or 4 days. Now it takes 6 to 10. It's just not cool,
Yeah.
So, no one ever says, I love doing shipping. I have no problem paying this. So, but, and that's what's great about having ChitChat is it's nice to have another option there, for us creators and for us small business people to get our things out there. So you certainly make getting from point A to point B much more helpful and manageable. So,
I think down there in the US you have an American version of ChitChats, I think, which would be Pirate Ship, no?
Yes, we do have Pirate Ship, and then there's also another one called Stamps, but Pirate Ship really seems to be more of, I guess, the disruptor. We use them a lot, especially for our foreign shipping, because even going through USPS, foreign shipping is it's a pain in the butt. But there's not much you can do about it, and I hate it, and everyone complains. But it's like, I don't know.
It is what it is, yeah.
And I just got an email last week from Canada Post saying that the rates are going up again in September, and significantly too. I think it's like 5% on some things. Boxes going to different countries will cost $2 more, if not more than that. It's like, no, you have come at the right time.
I know. the challenge with the logistics industry is the fuel surcharges. After COVID, that did have an impact on, kind of transportation and things like that. So I think all shipping companies are impacted to some degree. It's kind of like a necessary evil, unfortunately. We understand that, so we do our best to keep them as competitive and low as possible. Some things are just passed right on from the carrier, so there's not much we can do. So it's unfortunate. As Jenny said, it's like the logistics industry has changed so much. There's different parameters. I know USPS has put in that 10-year plan that they're changing, which was why they introduced the Ground Advantage service, because they're changing some of the transportation of like air and the ground services and consolidating some of it as well. So it really impacts how shipping works and how it impacts you guys who are shipping. Yeah.
It's, I'm really glad you were doing this podcast today on shipping, because from what I do, and also on the creator end, so many creators don't understand how much shipping is. They never go to USPS to look up the rates, and they never go to ChitChats and see how much it costs to ship something. So when, the invoice comes and they see how much shipping is, they're like, what? But yeah, I mean, so that's why I always recommend go to USPS, just look around, poke around, and, see how much shipping rates are, because so many people just, it doesn't affect them. You just, I order something, I get it. But when you're paying it, it's very different. So always go and take a look at USPS cost rates and ChitChat cost rates. So.
Thank you.
So
awesome. Do you have any other questions, Jenny, to ask Juhee?
No, I really enjoyed it. This was a neat little insight to meet your company, meet you. And what a great service you provide for getting things, to states. I wish it was easier and cheaper and not such a headache for everyone, but it's nice to know ChitChats is there. So
I'm really, really happy that you have come on, and I can't wait to give it a go. I really am glad. It's like,
I know.
Shipping really is an issue, and you're absolutely right. It keeps a lot of people from being able to expand, being able to improve their own product, because you have to put so much money into the shipping. It's bananas.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having come on, Juhee. Is there anything else you would
you.
like to let listeners or watchers know about ChitChat?
I mean, I feel like I summed it all up. If you are like a small business or a Canadian entrepreneur trying to start out, I highly encourage you to visit chitchats.com. We can definitely support your business. We are here to help you guys succeed. So please reach out.
Yay. Well, thank you, Juhee. It was great to meet you, and great to meet your company. So
awesome.
Wonderful to meet you. Thank you again. I hope you have a wonderful day. Say hello to the rest of the crew from all of us.
I will.
Hopefully you'll be getting a few more phone calls and website visits. Nobody uses the phone.
Amazing.
But website visits.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you again.